Welcome in, listeners, viewers, Joey Shadows. This is
What up? What up?
episode 9. So, I took some time to rethink things. Joe and I had recorded an episode on Legend of Zelda, and the clips alone took some heat, and that wasn't even the most controversial shit I said. I called it a JRPG, and Joe's
You
eyes
did.
twice. So I was going to leave it up as a Patreon
I,
as a Patreon episode because I figure if I was going to take some flack, I'd at least do it while getting money. But we are going to be starting a Patreon, guys. That is just going to be something, but we're going to throw in merch with it as well. One of the clips that I didn't, I'll be posting as soon as my browser decides it wants to work again. And we've talked about this before, and I'll just kind of get the plug for the merch out here now. We make more money off of the shirts than we do with Twitch, even with YouTube. So if you guys do want to support us, www.angrycorgicustoms.ca.com, .uk as well. As the clip said, as you'll see, because if you go into Joe's stream, the only thing he hasn't sold me under is .edu. So, but again, that's okay. He's here for his looks, not for his marketing, even though he has a bachelor's in it.
yep, I definitely do. And now I work warehouse, so we know how well that went.
Fuck,
So
you're making the same, bro. So, it's okay. I was working warehouse. Now I got to go into marketing. But today we are going to talk. We are going to talk Halo, and we're going to talk Gears of War because I'm going to start mashing some shit together because Halo was interesting, and as I did in the last episode, I'll plant my flag pretty early here. Halo 1 and 2 should have been it. Again,
okay,
the hate will come,
okay,
the
three,
nerds will come.
three
3 was
was
okay.
yeah,
3 was okay.
three
ODST
was
was okay.
3 was good because I believe that was the first one that did like co-op, like couch
Yeah.
co-op,
See, but I
right?
always
Two,
played it as
one,
a
and two.
single player. So for
Ah,
me, it was like we talked about this with, and if you just watch the clip, because I rage baited you very hard with
you
last week's
did,
clip.
you
Not
did.
even not even Joe. I'm just talking to the audience now. So me and Joe talked about this after, but I compared Breath of the Wild as one of the turning points in my gaming career because the last one I played before that was Link to the Past, and then I didn't play video games for like a decade and a half.
Yeah,
So
you
I
missed like 20 other ones.
and that was it. And that was it. And I had every Harry Potter because I went to their profiles after. All these Harry Potter motherfuckers coming and yelling at me, saying that it's immersive as a blank page. Call of Duty doesn't have a fucking storyline, and people play that shit all day, every day. Eat a dick. But that being said,
Yeah, that one comment, bro. That one.
oh,
What
dude, there's
games
way more.
you
That's why I haven't posted it. That's why I just
yeah.
posted it now. As you guys are hearing this episode, it's about 10 minutes after I'd posted that episode because I was gonna make you bastards pay for it. I was gonna make you guys pay $5, join our little club, but we're gonna do that anyways. But we are gonna start having Patreon exclusive episodes. We are gonna have we'll send you guys some merch, whether it be T-shirts, hats here and there for engagement, coming out, supporting, following, all that free shit that helps us get out there. But this has been about a 5-minute monologue. I should probably get into the show, but we've done the consoles, we've done Final Fantasy, we've done Legend of Zelda,
Mario.
we've done Mario, but I
I
think
think we did Mario. It's only been 9
you know
episodes
what?
and I
It
don't
was
even
the first
fucking
episode. We got to go back. We are, you know what? When we start Patreon, the first episode that me and Joe disgracefully still have, will get posted on our Patreon because it was
buddy,
so.
that was that one that we tried to stream
We
at the same time.
we should have put that shit on VHS. That's how bad that was. Like that was the only way no one was gonna watch it. But anyways, that being said, Let's move on to episode 9, Short Legs, Big Rage, Halo and Gears, Halo V Gears. Can we really put them on the same platform? We're going to find out. Joe, as our resident expert, and again,
Um,
for all of you rage baiting headline humpers, um, I'm not a big gamer. Like I am amazed by, like, what is it? There's a chicken simulator where I make eggs. It's like an egg factory. Stupidest fucking game in the world, but I can get into that shit. But right now we're going to talk about two of probably the most prominent shooter games out in our generation. Anyways, Joe,
yeah,
I know you
on
didn't
the
play.
Xbox for sure.
Yeah, Joe, I know you didn't
Yeah,
play Gears too much, but why don't you take over on Halo? Talk to us about your experiences with Halo. The game changer that it was.
for sure, for sure. Okay, so dude, okay, Halo. So originally released in 2001, right? It was one of the flagship day one releases for the Xbox. My opinion, right off the bat, is if they didn't have this game day one, I don't know if the Xbox would have done as well as it did in North America, because I'm looking at the release dates of like the day one games. So other than Halo, dude, you had Dead or Alive 3. Okay, you got booby jiggle mechanic fighting game. All right. Um, Shout out to Dead or Alive
Yeah, I
Beach
was gonna
Volleyball.
say we'll get to the booby jiggling tech. That was
Shout
Xbox's
out to that game.
game,
Yeah, Project Gotham Racing, which
which was
people
whatever.
hail that game. Yeah, I mean, people do hail that game, but where is it now? They didn't continue on with it, right? Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. I don't know how many people actually played that. I didn't really play it, right? You got Fusion Frenzy, which I believe was like a four-party co-op kind of game, a la kind of Mario Party, but not a board game sort of deal. NFL Fever 2022, Air Force Delta Storm, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Yeah, 2X. They call it 2X, but I think that's 2. Max Payne, which is probably another really good game, right? And then Azuric Rise of Parathia. So those were the day one games, dude. So like without Halo, I don't think the Xbox would have done well. Um, when you think Xbox, you think Halo. Now you put Halo and Gears of War, kind of almost on the same pedestal, which I guess I would because they're pretty big franchises, and I believe like Gears of War, there's like 5 of them, so it had to have been like pretty good, right? We all remember the commercial of that fucking when it
Yeah,
released. Yeah,
Wild
Mad
World
World.
is the
Yeah,
soundtrack to my life. That was the best remake of a
right.
song ever.
But we all
Uh,
remember the Halo fucking OS original soundtrack more, right? All you got to do is start hearing that chant. "Oh,
right?
I'm off tune, but you know what I mean. Um, you hear that shit and like it's fucking Halo, right? Um, so my experience with Halo, I did own an Xbox, but as you all listened and you said this is episode 9,
It
the
was
last
second
8
episode.
episodes,
Yeah.
yeah. So um I'm more of a PlayStation guy. I did have an Xbox. I just remember coming home one day. My dad brought home an Xbox. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? Never really seen this thing in my life. What the fuck's this fucking Duke ass controller? Check out the clips. So, but my first experience with Halo was actually at a buddy's house. We skipped school one day. Uh, Me, Tiano, and PM Transporter. Shout out to Tiano, dude. Really good guy. Fucking miss that guy. Don't know what he's doing right now, but I fucking miss you, bro. If you ever hear this, I fucking miss you. We went over to his house and we were sitting in his bedroom and he's like, y'all want to play Halo multiplayer? And I was like, what the fuck is that? Sure, I guess so, dude. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But we'll do 2v1, like both you guys versus me. This guy fucking murdered us, murdered us. We had no idea what we were doing. I've never seen this game before in my life. I had no idea how these weapons work, right? You got the assault rifle, you had the stinger, you had the pistol, you had that weird green alien gun that charged up.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first experience, but I would, dude, even though I got my ass kicked, I was hooked. I was like, this game is awesome. This game is awesome. I think I went home probably the next day. I probably went out and I bought Halo. I was like, I need to know what this game is about, right? And just right from the beginning, it was totally different than any other, like, we could talk about the Call of Duties and all this stuff because I think those came out before, because I was like PS2 era gaming, or PS1. I don't even remember. Anyways, but you can talk about those. But like when you go back and you look at like the OG Call of Duty compared to like the OG like Halo, no comparison. Like Halo, like the graphics were great. You go back to it now, yeah, it was definitely not made for an HD TV, but with the remakes and all that other stuff, like it looks better. But it looked way better. It had a crazy ass story. You had this dude, who's Master Chief? Who is this guy? Is he an android? Is he a human? Like, what's up with this guy? And it's like, you felt like such a badass. And shout out to them because I think it was one of the first games that had like a shield based kind of like regenerative system. You know what I mean? Like you regenerate your health. Like Doom had like shields and stuff in it, but you had to like pick up the shields and then once they were gone, they were gone. But like I believe this was like the first one. Call of Duty might have had it, but I don't know. Call of Duty you had to pick up health packs, so this was the first one. But people are probably going to prove me wrong, but that's fine. But like you're taking shots. You just go and chill for a bit, and your shield regenerates, your health regenerates, and you're like, holy shit, this game is crazy, right? You're fighting the aliens. What is Halo? Yeah, what is this? What is that? Like the
What is the
banshees, the
flood?
ghosts that you
Yeah.
ride. Dude, yeah, like it's, and then like the grunts are one of the funniest goddamn enemies I think you've ever fought in the game, in any game. The way like they see Master Chief coming and they're like, "Oh no," and they start running away. Like, dude, it's so like it makes you feel like the game made you feel like a god. You know what I mean?
and and
Um,
and just to interject
oh
there
no, go.
so you can catch the one thing, and like you're talking about, and this was one of the first games, Joe, and anybody that played the original Halo will remember this automatically the minute I say this. Do you remember starting that game and you're in the suit and it's giving you the tutorial and you are like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to fuck some shit up?
Oh, I'm gonna fuck shit
That's it,
up. Look
right?
at this
It wasn't
assault.
a reading tutorial, it was look up and down, look
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah, do this. Here's how
Yeah.
you aim your gun. This is this.
Yeah.
The plasma grenades, like
Yeah.
you throw the grenade the first time and it sticks to the enemy and you watch them run and blow. Dude, this was a mind-blowing game. Like shout out to Bungie, dude, for creating this. Not rest in peace to them, but eventually they stopped making the games. I don't know what the story is with that. I don't know if um like they just found a developer cheaper. Like I would like to get down to understand what the story of Bungie is because Bungie ended up moving to PlayStation and they created Destiny, which definitely you play Destiny, it's definitely Halo on another level. But shout out to them because they standardized the console, like dual stick control, shooting and everything. Like the controls felt nice, the jumping, right? Like like it was like zero G, almost like jumping, right? You jumped like kind of high, a little floaty, but you got like used to it. It made sense. Um, Definitely helped Xbox become like a major competitor, not only in the video game market, but in the FPS market. You know, and again, like Master Chief, one of the most iconic. I'm gonna say like up there, one of the most iconic video game characters uh, of all time.
If you were talking a
Of all
franchise
time.
character that, or
Yeah, yeah,
that would be
for sure.
Xbox's, and we talked about it in episode 2, and you touched on it again here today, that if it wasn't for Halo, would Xbox have gone the distance? Sorry guys, I got a kitten who wants to join in,
Uh,
but
Kitty alert.
kitty alert. But that's it. But Halo was its own feel. Like we grew up, like we
Hmm.
played Doom and stuff. Like that was the only shooter really before that, and you know, me and Joe touched on it, and we'll talk about Siphon Filter, Medal of Honor, and so on. But 007 was probably the closest thing in my, well, from my
Mhm.
knowledge, right? Because Street Fighter, that was the jam. That was it, right? The
Mhm.
shooter
Mhm.
games were, bleh, but that was it. Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat, Street Fighter, like that was Super Nintendo before
Mm,
we moved on to PlayStation and to
yeah.
Xbox.
Well
But
well, for, like, console gaming, for sure, for, like, the first person shooter, they revolutionized it with Halo. Um, there was first person shooters on consoles, but we have to remember dual sticks weren't always there,
yeah,
right? For all the younger people and stuff like that,
yeah,
dual sticks weren't always a thing. So like you did have Doom on, I'm pretty sure on the Super Nintendo. Like you had companies try to create the first person experience, but on a D-pad that is really hard, one. And then when you get to a 3D space, like once again, the PlayStation wasn't always dual stick as well, right? Like the PlayStation when it initially came out was just a D-pad, and they tried to make first person games. I'm not going to say shooters, but they tried to make first person games on the PlayStation. They didn't work out. But once Xbox, and because they had the knowledge of PC, because PC games had first person shooters, because they had a mouse and you had the
yeah. The mouse and key,
WASD
yeah,
arrow key, right? Yeah. So they were able to figure out how to port that. And I'm going to use the word port, but it's not the right word. Port that onto um, a console. So that gave them the advantage, right? And then they came out with this Halo game, and it blew up, dude. Like it took over everything. Now, I don't believe the first Halo had online multiplayer, but it definitely had local,
local
like
co-op for sure.
the local, like yeah, like local. You could sit down with your buddies and like kind of like GoldenEye. Again, I think they did take a lot of the GoldenEye DNA. Like they learned from GoldenEye and they just made it way better. You know what I mean? Because GoldenEye had that too, right? And GoldenEye was the shit, dude. Like
Because the GoldenEye
for
was
its time.
really the first one for its time, right? Because like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we
Mm-hmm.
grew up in the Street Fighter era where that was it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mortal Kombat. Do you remember how much time we spent playing Mortal Kombat, watching more,
Yep.
like you know, it's shit like that.
Yeah.
But when we talk about that, Halo, I don't think Halo can ever die because, like you said, Master Chief is a legend. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter. I went back and again, you know, we've talked about my gap from gaming. When I went back into it, that's what I did, Joe. Remember, I went back, I played the Halos. I went and I
You did.
played Gears of War because Gears of War
Mm-hmm.
was a game that I didn't play when it originally came out. And I'll get, you know, I'll say my piece on Gears of War. But we talked about this when, you know, just off camera before we started. Joe and I were trying to to do a comparison because Call of Duty is one of those games we've never played, but we've played Medal of Honor, and Medal of Honor was the shit. Medal of Honor 2 on PlayStation was the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're you're
Mm-hmm.
you're out there killing Nazis. It's what Wolfenstein kind of became. And then Wolfenstein came back, which I
Yeah.
still haven't played.
Yeah.
It took over, right? Like, do you remember that? Like, there was kind of that lull. And
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
got back into gaming, and I still have them, Wolfenstein is going to be something that I will play. But like I said, there's few things. But let's get back to Halo and War and Gears. But
Mm-hmm.
Halo 1 and 2, man, like that.
Fucking
That's.
peak, buddy.
But the thing is, there was nothing really to
Peak.
perfect. All you had to do was change the mechanics. You changed the story up a little bit. Like
Yeah.
like 2 was
Add a couple new things,
right? And the fact
right?
that in what 2 you got to be you got to be the grunt. Like, was it 2 that you
Oh,
got
you
to be
got to be
what were
the
they called?
arbiter?
Yeah, there we go. The one
Fuck
with the
that
sword.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the arbiter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that was 2.
I
I'm
thought
pretty
so
sure that
too.
was 2.
Hang on here.
But you do get to play as like yeah, the arbiter, the covenant. They were
Yeah.
called the covenant because in 3 they introduced the flood,
There was
I
still
believe,
the
and the
flood
flood,
in one. Yeah. Like you fought
right?
the flood, yeah.
And
But
then
yeah,
you work together with the Arbiter to fight the Flood,
yeah,
and then yeah, dude, I think that was a that yes, so it had to have been 3. I think it was 3 that they had because 3 had the local co-op campaign where one of you played Master Chief and the other
and the
one
other one
played the
played me.
Arbiter. Yeah, dude.
So,
Fuck.
and it's simple shit like that that we overlooked because,
Yeah.
and we'll go back to, the definition of immersive, but it didn't need a crazy story, right? It did, like, you're gonna go hunt some aliens. It's like Plants versus Zombies. Like,
Hmm.
it doesn't need a storyline. And we were comparing, just to go back to that previous point I was trying to make, about half hour ago. Um, we talked about Halo being Call of Duty, whereas Gears was more
Medal of
Medal of
Honor.
Honor, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
Gears kind of had that storyline playthrough. So for
Yeah.
me, and I played Halo a lot, but my first run through of Gears, awesome, awesome.
Hmm.
That was
Hmm.
ever. I should have played it when it first came out. That would have been my jam. You know what I mean? But that was it. But that's my kind of game. And we kind of touched on it, ever so briefly last week when we talked, or 2 weeks ago when we talked Legend of Zelda. That
Hmm.
Final Fantasy would be that Medal of Honor, that Gears of War. Whereas Legend of Zelda was just going through the motions with a half-ass story, the Happy Meal version of the game, which I like. That's fine.
And don't get us wrong, there is obviously a
They will.
story to Halo. There is, and because
Yeah.
there's books, there's everything. Like there is a story,
And it branched
but
off into Red versus Blue, everything.
oh, buddy, I
The
fucking love their
concept. Now, let's break it down to the concept, right? Because that was it. But even when they came out with the live action, I have it saved. I haven't watched it. I think I watched the first episode. But
dude. Watch it,
Halo
fucking
is its
watch it,
own attitude. And that was it.
fucking
It doesn't matter how much you
watch.
want to be Halo, you won't be Halo.
Hmm. Yeah. Again, there was a story, but when you're playing the game, you're just like, "Fuck, dude, I'm just this badass motherfucker that's killing aliens." Yeah, there's a story for sure, but just let me go kill some
Yeah.
motherfucking aliens. Like, let me just
Yeah.
go. Where you're right, where Gears, there's probably a good story. I would like to go and play it because again, there's 5 of them, so there has to be a pretty good
Yeah,
version.
we might have
And
to
I
get together
believe
and
now
play
they're making
5. Yeah.
yeah, 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 for sure. But like Halo, yeah, for sure there's a story. Ask me what the story is. Like fucking I don't care, man. I just want to go and shoot some guy. I want to feel like badass shooting some goddamn aliens. You know what I
Like
mean?
like
Like
it's a good story
um
on a basic plot. Like they didn't over try to
mhm.
sell it. Like I don't have to know what 10 other fucking people are doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like and that was the thing.
I
Witcher
I
was
didn't
oh, go ahead.
I didn't care. Or no, I was gonna say like I didn't care about like the over arc story.
Yeah.
What I cared about when I was playing it is like I want to know who the fuck Master Chief is. Who the fuck? Because they kept alluding. They kept like whatever. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's Master Chief. Hello, sir. Hey, whatever." But like, I wanted to know that, and I know within the story you got little snippets of that, but like, I only paid attention to those parts. Other than that, it was like, "Oh, that's the bad alien. Okay, I'm gonna go kill those people." Like, whatever. Like, bring me to the story which tells me who the hell. Like, they did such a good job at keeping it under wraps on like, is he a human? Is he a cyborg? Is he like, where did he come from? Like, why is he so why is no one else like him? Right? Like, and then they started dropping in, oh, well, he's a Spartan. Oh, what the fuck's a
There's a
Spartan?
Spartan, right?
Right? Like what's a Spartan thing? And
This
then
is
they would just
this is
drop little
Guardians of the
tidbits.
Galaxy 2 all over for me, right? It's like, the
Yeah.
fuck? Your dad is a
Yeah.
what? But but that's
Yeah,
it.
who
But
is
like
it? Like, who's this guy? Why is there no one? And then I think they started dropping in like, oh, there's other Spartanos out there, and you're like, oh, okay. So is this like a Captain America thing? But certain people took the serum, like was it? And the TV show explain like I'm going to tell you right now, the TV show will explain that.
yeah,
So the dude that and we'll go on a tangent a little bit. I can't believe that they canceled the show
it's on Prime,
after
isn't it?
2 seasons. Paramount.
Okay. Either way, we'll
Paramount?
see if I can stream it on some kind of
Yeah.
platform.
I think
But
it's on Paramount. I think it's even on Netflix now too, but like it's only 2 seasons, but dude, I cannot fucking believe that they canceled that show. Now, bear in mind, I get it. People were upset with it because they were like, he took his helmet off. Why would he take his helmet? Like the whole Mandalorian thing, right? But you can't have this dude in the helmet the whole time. Like there's got to be some sort of fucking human story to it. It is so fucking good, dude. Like the action in this, I'm gonna gush about this for a second because I watched this when I was on paternity leave, so I got to like sit there and like fucking watch it.
you got immersed,
Yeah,
did you?
and my god, dude, I binged the shit and I wanted more, and then they didn't give it to me, and now I'm super sad. I to this day and I will never until on my dying deathbed will never understand why they canceled this fucking show.
It's my
Like,
Orville. The Orville was a great show. Why did you have to fuck with
yeah,
me? But
don't fucking get it, dude.
but here's the thing. Now, Joe, now that we said that, because we are,
Hmm.
in story arc 2, because the viewers don't know that we have 3 story arcs, but in story arc 2, where we take things to other forms of media when we get into TV shows and
Hmm.
movies, this was the thing. Master Chief was the perfect plot. You didn't need a story. It's like Spider-Man. Spider-Man will find the story, but you
It's a
had your
badass.
hero, right?
Hmm.
There's always going to be an alien threat. We don't know what's out there.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
that is what was great, but it was so simple. Like you could take a 5-year-old and a 50-year-old and they could have the same amount of fun playing that game. And that was
Hmm.
one of the beauties of Halo. Like Gears, probably the same, but probably not something you're gonna hang out and just shoot the shit with your kid about and play, right? And
Right.
Halo was essentially recreated in Fortnite for a lot of us. Like Fortnite was our Halo, our golden eye back when we were growing up,
Yes.
which is great. But
Yes. Yeah.
like I said, it's I don't know, dude. Like it's Halo. I don't think they're ever going to
D-
be ever to be like Halo's Halo. But at a certain point, we got to stop because what's going to
I
happen
think, yeah.
is it going to be like
Oh no, go
Dexter.
for it. Sorry.
Well, no,
Hmm.
it's the same. If anybody watched Dexter, Lost, any of those shows, you can only stretch so fucking much. And to the point
Hmm.
where you're starting to, you end up doing what Marvel did. And now we're in a different timeline. We're in a different time. Fuck off. Right? We talked
You
about this. Go ahead.
what's that term that they use? They jumped the shark. You
Some,
know what I mean?
some,
Like
yeah.
right.
You
So
found a
like, and
loophole.
I think it might have went there again. We both, and we'll skip ahead and go back. We both admitted that after four,
Yeah.
we kind of dropped off, right? Um, and in between four, like there was Halo ODST, there was Halo Reach, which I believe Halo Reach and ODST are about the Spartans, not about Master Chief himself, so you don't play Master Chief. And then there's Halo Wars, which is like a top-down tactical kind of shooter, right? Like they did try to expand it into something else, and they did try to create a bigger universe. But the problem is that you made your main character so fucking cool that to me, in my opinion, and to me, I didn't care about the other people. You know what I mean? Like
This is
I
a
didn't
Star
care.
Wars, the case of Star Wars, right? Star Wars was great. We were great with The Mandalorian. We were great with some of the cartoons. The Clone Wars animated series, one of my favorites by far. But the problem is, then you're going into Rebels, then you're going into this, then you're going into that. Like,
Yeah, the Bad Batch, the this and that. Like you're
and
just trying to
whichever,
pull from,
and that's it.
you
You're
know.
trying to take that original star and turn it into something else when, a different story would have been glorious on its own. And I think that
Hmm.
that's one thing because, just to go back to that Lost and Dexter, right? We all knew Dexter was going to make it to the next episode. Why? Because fucking it's Dexter. But now
It's
it's
Dexter.
now they brought it back. I think it already got canceled and I didn't watch it. But yeah, you don't have to. I
You're
know it's
right. I think they brought it back twice. I
yeah,
think they
because it was
brought
a
it back
great
once, it didn't work, and then they brought it back again.
it was a great concept. And there was another one. It's with Ah, shit. She was one of the Charlie's Angels, Sandler's
Uh,
old Drew
Drew
Barrymore.
Barrymore?
There was a Netflix where she was a zombie, and
Santa Clarita
yeah, yeah, Diet,
Diaries. Yeah,
Santa Clarita Diet, great show. But
yeah.
the thing is, yeah, like iZombie, another great one. iZombie would have actually made a great video game, in my opinion. I hope there's still a chance. But now we're
I know
seeing
you and Tim were into that. I never seen that one, but I
I'm
know you and
I,
Tim
I'm just
fucking love
into
that
pale
one.
chicks, bro. It's just the thing. I'm not gonna lie, I can't. But anyways, and you can't kill her. But yeah, it's but what Halo brought to the table is going to be on the same level as Mario, on the same level as you can't even say Cloud. Like Cloud was,
Yeah.
an epic character, but Cloud wasn't the franchise. Like Master
Hmm.
Chief was the Tom Brady of Xbox. It doesn't matter
Oh
what
fuck
you
yeah.
do, right?
Again, name another mascot from
Right?
Xbox. Like you can't. It's
And
Master
even if
Chief.
you could, it'll never be to that level.
No, no, no. You could say Marcus Phoenix, right? That was his name, Marcus
Yeah.
Phoenix. You can say him, but again, you could play those like, and even Halo right now. I believe you could get the remastered whatever
Yeah,
edition, blah
I
blah
I, I
blah,
got that
on the
like five
PlayStation.
pack. Oh, can you get it on PlayStation?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and this is the thing, and we talked about this, during the console wars, that now are we looking at a time where everything's just gonna wind up being cross-platform? Like, other than Mario, like, and we talked about it. Legend of Zelda made its way to the Xbox Game Pass. Are are
And
we,
Final Fantasies.
are we now seeing this a cross-platform evolution that now, you know, I guess it gets rid of the tribalness, but I can't think it would. I don't think it would feel right. Could you imagine playing Halo on a PlayStation? Like, I know it's not
Never,
that complicated, but it wouldn't feel right. Like, you know what I
never.
mean?
I won't put it on my PlayStation. I will not sully my PlayStation
And
with
that's it. You're a
fucking
purist.
Xbox.
I'm cheap as fuck. I really don't give a fuck. But it just wouldn't feel right. Like, and we talked about this
It
because
would,
we talked
and you're right. It wouldn't like. It just wouldn't feel right playing Halo. Gears of War, I guess
Gears
so.
of
Like I
War would
feel
have
like
been
Gears of War could be a
interchangeable. Yeah,
cross-platform.
yeah,
Yeah, but like again, the most iconic Xbox
yeah.
character, I would
Like,
feel wrong playing on a PlayStation.
could you
I
imagine
just would.
playing Super Mario 3 on an Xbox like
I fucking would
360?
never, dude. I can never do that. There's no way.
Your
Which
brain
I
can't even
did because
process it.
I was gonna be like, I did on the Xbox because I modded my Xbox, so I played like Nintendo games on the Xbox back in the day, right? Um, but no, Halo was great. It paved the way for probably one of the greatest games of our generation. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say ours because you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But then you got Halo 2, and then Halo 2 not only expanded the Halo 1 universe and the gameplay, but it brought um what would you call it? Sorry, like fucking online. But wow, why did I forget the word online? It brought the online gaming experience, right? Like the Call of Duty, I would be nothing without Halo 2, in my
Explain.
opinion. Like the Call of Duty, how big it is in the online community now, I don't think would be like I remember it being online. I do. I used to go to, I don't know if you remember this, and this is going to be like a fucking local thing, but Spar Games.
Yeah.
Do you remember Spar
Yeah.
Games? I remember going to Spar Games and playing like a LAN party game, playing Call of Duty against other people. But when I look at that online gameplay compared to like Halo 2, Halo 2 was like far more superior, and then I think Call of Duty learned from that and became what it is, but I don't think it would be where it's at if Halo 2 never came out with that online matchmaking, ranking experience.
It was really the
Y-
test ground for it all.
Yeah.
It's, and we talked about it earlier in the console wars talk that, you know, this was this was the moment for Xbox. And Xbox, I think we can definitively say, wouldn't have been Xbox if it wasn't for Master Chief and Halo. But like you said, we go through, once Bungie exits, we get the 343 Industries moving in. And it's changed a little bit. Like I haven't played, and we talked about this. Like I'll play the greatest hits, but some of
Mhm.
the offshoots, they don't
It
interest
didn't
me.
feel the same. It didn't feel the same, and you could feel the difference once Bungie left, and 343 Games started making the game. It didn't have the heart. I'm going to use that word. It
It
didn't have the heart. You know what I mean? That the other ones had. That the first, because I think the fourth one is when 343 came in. So the first three, like you could feel like the people. I'm not, and I don't want to. Fuck, dude. I
piss
don't know how to
people
word
off.
this.
It's what we do.
I don't want to downplay developers, right? I don't want to say that they didn't care, but it felt like because Bungie created this and it was their fucking child, it feels like 343 is like the stepdad that kind of came in and just tried to like maintain, not evolve, not um um parent, not like, you know what I mean, like tried to bring it up, and like it just felt like they're just maintaining and they're just like pumping them out. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, 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 whatever. It's Halo, it's
People will
Master
buy it
Chief,
for
it's
its
whatever.
name.
People will buy it for the name, whatever. Yeah, we got to create this story, we got to continue. But like, it just felt like a little piece of it died once Bungie left.
and
You know what I
and
mean?
we talked about this, like we've talked with pretty much everything the golden era, and I think the best one to compare this to would be that Final Fantasy era, right? We had that era from 7 to 10,
7 to 10.
right? Regardless of how
Mm-hmm.
you feel about 8. um
Mm-hmm.
you know those will be the ones that define the franchise. When you think Halo, 1, 2, and 3 are going to be the ones. Like I can't speak to Infinite, I can't speak to Guardians, because to me that is a whole other franchise. Like, and like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I love Star Wars and I love the Mandalorian, but they are still separate, and we can't keep throwing everything under the same name. Like, could you imagine? They probably could have done it with The Witcher. Like, I know, we've got DLCs and all this, which is still the same, like, it's still within that
Mm-hmm.
umbrella. But when we're going, like, I would I would rather wait the time for Witcher 4 than to play the fucking same Witcher 3, just slightly different.
Yes. Yeah, and it's tough to say that because it's like
It
I
is.
don't like it's like
Final Fantasy
if a
7.
company just makes, yeah, if a company just makes like the same fucking game and like whatever, fucking Assassin's Creed, right?
Super
I
Mario,
can't
in
play
my
those.
opinion, right? Like, and that's the
Okay,
thing. I
that's
know, I know,
fair.
I
I'll
know, I
fucking
know,
fight you on that.
I
I'll
know, I
fight you
know,
on that,
I
but that's
know.
fair. It's your
Because
opinion, but
but
that's
that's the
fine.
thing. Because my golden era of Mario was 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario,
Mm-hmm.
like Super Nintendo, Super NES. But once we moved, I think like honestly, Joe, like when I play them, it's usually with you. But I think I played one on the Wii. I think I played Galaxy. But to me, it's the equivalent. It's your Legend of Zelda. To me, it's the same thing. Just kind of packaged. Yeah, you're gonna hurt me.
Yeah,
I know this is why we have to do this not in the same room. But that
it's
again,
fair.
it's not fair. It's an opinion, and you can tell me to go fuck off for it. That's fine. But
Yeah, you
that's
could
it.
fuck off, but yes.
And that's it. But but like that's it. Like you get to a point where you've seen the same thing and we're just redoing it. Like things like at least, and Fortnite's even recognized this to the point where they're having, we're having One Punch Fortnite, we're having Simpsons Fortnite, same, but
Fucking
different,
don't.
different. But Fortnite
Fucking
for
don't. I will
me,
never understand that.
and the thing is, I don't consider myself a Fortnite player because I only got kind of good at it once there was no build. And to
Yeah,
me, that makes me a pussy. So I don't play it.
that's fair. I mean, I fucking hate I hate build. I hate that
But
build
you
shit.
strip
But
build, and then you've got every other game, just with a different skin.
yeah, yeah. It's tough with the Halo series because again, the first three fucking love them. Maybe again, it's a nostalgia thing. Four, yeah, fine. They tried, right? Five, I'll admit, didn't play it, but I know it didn't get like the best reviews. Then they tried to in six or Infinite. They went the open world route, which is fucking cool. I did play it for a time, um, and it was really neat. But I'll admit, I got my ass kicked because I feel like they made that game that you really should be playing with other people, right? You should be having fun with other people and playing it. And I respect them for changing it up and making it more open world, like not having kind of like the linear
Yeah,
story, whatever. Which again, that's fun, but like you were saying, like it's tough because it will get old, but when you change it too much, then people complain. Like I understand where they were in,
right.
but I think, and it sucks to say because as much as it revolutionized like online play, I think once they did that and they realized how popular the online play was, which respect because the difference between them, and I know we're gonna go like Gears of War and whatever, but like I kind of feel like it's this and Call of Duty. Like the difference between them and Call of Duty is that Call of Duty, when you're playing it and you're upgrading, you get better guns, you get better this, you could add attachments and this and fucking this and all this other stuff to
There's
make your guns
macro
better than the other
increments that
person.
you're trying to get.
Yeah, but in Halo, what I respect about them is like you have your assault rifle, you have your stinger,
Go
you
be
have your
gangsta.
pistol, you have your weird ass green alien gun, you got your rocket launcher, and like I was saying before, they took the DNA of GoldenEye. You had the fucking plasma sword, which was a one shot. You get that plasma sword, everyone fucking runs from you, right? Just like in GoldenEye, you get that golden gun. Holy shit, he's got the
Mario
golden gun.
Kart,
Fucking stay
everything.
away from him. Yeah, yeah. So I respected them for that, but I think again, what started hurting the franchise is that they started to care more about the online than the campaign, right? Like it was like they had to make the campaign. And I think this is a problem with when 343 came in. They had to make the campaign, but I feel like Xbox was like, make the online. We just give a shit about the throw in the
90-10,
campaign,
right?
fucking right? Yeah, throw in the fucking campaign for the people that want the campaign. Try to add on to the story if you can, but we want you to focus more on the online play because that's where our moneymaker is. That's why people are buying the game now. And I was one of them. I played online. I loved it for time being. I'll admit, I hopped into the Halo Infinite one with a couple buddies. I lasted half a round. And after half a round, I was like, fuck this game. Because as much as I say I respect them for never adding perks onto their weapons, what happened was is people started to understand how to cheese with those weapons or how to cheese with like them. You hop into a Halo online game now, everyone's just fucking jumping and shooting. Use a rocket launcher to jump up high so I can't fucking get you and you fucking shoot me from above. And that's Halo Online now, right? which people are going to shit on me because they're going to be like, "Oh, just get good, scrub." If they use that term anymore, I don't know if they use that term, but I know they use
Doesn't
get
matter. We
good
don't care
or
about
they're
those
good.
people.
But it fucking sucked, dude. I was not having a good time playing that game. So, um, I don't know what they could do to turn it around per se. Um, because after Halo Infinite, like what do you do? Like now what they're doing is all they're doing is they're just remaking the same three Halo games over and over. We're remastering it. We're making it with better graphics. Hey, yeah, we added this, but if you press the select button, you could go back to the old graphics for you nostalgia folks. But then you go back to the old graphics, you're like, oh my god, this is fucking ugly on 4K. I'm gonna go back to so like they keep remaking the same three games, which were the Bungie games, but I've never seen them remake 4 or 5. They're not going to do Infinite yet, but 4 or 5 Halo Wars, Halo Reach, Halo OSD, whatever else they're doing. Like, I don't know what they could do to turn this franchise around, um, to make it popular again, because I don't know how popular it really is. Like, the sad thing is you don't hear people really talk about it anymore, right? Like, it's just
But
Call
I
of Duty
think
or
that's
Fortnite. Like you
why
don't.
the show was the right move. Like, and we talked about it. Like, the marketability of Halo was like Star Wars, and it still is, right? We had Red versus Blue. We had all kinds of shit, like the knockoffs,
Yeah,
the fan shows, everything. And I think that,
dude, Red vs. Blue had 6 seasons. Like it's on, I think on Tubi, on that free Tubi thing. If
yeah,
you could find that shit, it is so fucking good, dude.
and
If
that's
no
it.
one's watched Red vs. Blue yet, go
Check it out,
fucking watch Red vs. Blue. Yeah,
and that's
it's
it.
so
Because
funny, so
a
fucking
game
funny.
like that, with and we touched on it, it's got storyline, nerds. I know it's got a storyline, but when we're talking about it, it's not really Lord of the Ringsy. It's got a story, but it's a base element that we can interchange X versus Y all the
Hmm.
time. And that being said, with Gears of War, the story has already been created. So we talked about Xbox, right? The story of Master
Hmm.
Chief, right? And how everybody got pissed off because we're changing the story. Like, why did he take his helmet off? Bitches, it's got to happen. Like, we talked about this with Batman. His parents fucking died. They got shot in an alley. Okay? We got it. We don't need another 30-minute episode preliminary on why it happened. And I think that that's
Hmm.
what we talked about, is now they're remaking the golden age. Like we talked it with Final Fantasy VII, right? We retalked it even with Legend of Zelda. The one that I wanted to see redone is Link to the Past. Could you imagine seeing that shit in a 4K? But that's it. But then you have to change it. Like, I haven't watched or played Wind Walkers, and you told me to do that one, but I might have to steal a
Yeah,
GameCube
Wind
here or there.
Waker, Link's Awakening is another one you might enjoy,
And
right? Like
that's it.
go
But
play that.
the story is essentially set, right? The Klingon dictionaries are out there written. Everybody's
Hmm.
got their own say, and that's what's going to end up happening with Gears of War. Like, they've talked. I don't know if they've talked or if this is just Facebook fucking with me, but I got a video or an AI generated of Dave Batista and Terry Crews in a Gears of
Oh,
War live
is that
action.
not true?
I
Is
don't
that not
know.
true?
Well, I'll
I
talk, you
heard
Google
that.
it. But anyways, if that is
Gears
true,
of
but
War.
that's it. But they're not creating a story. They're now retelling a story fucking the greatest way possible. Like, with Halo, you had that ambiguity. Anybody could be Master Chief. But when we're
Yeah, you know
talking
what? It's a
Marcus
fan. You're right. It's a fan casting. Sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're
well,
good.
fans have heavily fan cast Dave Batista, John Berthal. Which,
Yeah.
dude, this fan casting unbelievable. Netflix is developing the project alongside an animated series. Oh, they're doing a live action and an animated
But
series.
this is the problem, because I keep seeing this everywhere, but it's the same with Legend of Zelda. I saw that they're going to redo an animated series plus the live action. Okay, stop Game of Thronesing everything. Stick to fucking one. Like The Witcher
Yeah.
animated, great. And here's the thing: DC animated movies, the animated superhero movies, 20 times better than the Marvel ones. But in my,
Mhm.
again,
Yep.
my
I
humblest
will agree with you.
of opinions, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a bit better than Zack Snyder. I didn't mind Zack Snyder's universe, to be completely honest with you, but it's a different
Mhm.
feel. When I go watch the Avengers, I want to see the colors. I want to see,
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Um,
Mhm.
I know Batman's parents died. That's it.
Yep.
We don't have to
Yep.
reframe it. But like I said, with the addition of Aquaman, I think Aquaman was probably the best thing to happen to the Justice League. Like if you can add Jason Momoa to anything, I don't even mind
Shout out Lobo,
and that's it. When are we
right?
getting Lobo? And we're going to talk about this in story arc 2. But Lobo so close. But this is the thing, Joe, right? Like there are certain things where you can already paint the picture, right? We know, right? Dave Batista,
Mhm.
Terry Crews,
As
and
Marcus
John
Fenix,
Barenthal.
yeah.
It's in our head. This is like fucking Sinbad playing Shazam or being we're gonna we're gonna Mandela affect ourselves just because of fucking Facebook, but this is it. But
um, can, can I ask you a question?
yep,
Because you play both, like actually, this is weird because you
I
call
am the
me like
expert
the
now.
yeah. I was like you called me like I can't remember the term you used. I was some sort of gamer, not prestige because I'm
You're a
not good
purist,
whatsoever. But like a purist, you call me a purist, but like I'm ashamed that I've never played the Gears of War series, but you played Gears of War and you played the first three Halos, right? So you
but
played the first three Gears of Wars and the first three Halos, right?
that's like saying I went
And
to McDonald's in 51 states. Like like
I know, but like in your opinion, because like I'm interested in Gears of War, in your opinion, w- which one did you feel had the better story?
one.
And which one did you feel like you had, like, more fun playing? Like, yeah, let's use the word immersive, like, engaged, like
I think this is going to be a 1 and 2 again for me, Joe.
okay.
I haven't played Gears 4. I heard 4 was
Yeah,
completely
that's fine.
different. 3 was kind of the fart in the wind. It was the same
Yeah,
but different. But for me,
okay.
I was so excited about Gears cuz I knew nothing that the first one,
Mhm.
the storyline in the first one, and there was just so much going on. It was like Halo 1. You remember that, like you didn't even
Okay.
have time to think. It was a reaction game. And that was it. And I think
Okay.
that was the
Okay.
beauty with 1. With 2 for me, 2 the mechanics were better. I think with 2 what did we get? I think we got the cover shooting. That was available, but other than that, like 1 and 2 I think got it done. 4 is a different story altogether. So I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it. But if you want to go
Okay.
purist, 1 and 2 for sure, all day, every day. And I think we can say that more about the Xbox generation than any other console generation because we saw with PlayStation One, right, or even Sega, like we had Final Fantasies, we had stuff that was a little before its time, but it was really
Mhm.
the test. And we talked about this. We talked about GoldenEye, 007 eventually evolved into Halo because did Nintendo keep on with any shooters? Or did they make a full move to
Uh,
like Pokemon?
no, like they tried. Okay, so they tried. Um, they had Time Splitters, which was like a first person shooter, which is highly regarded. The second one's highly regarded, and when you try to like find it to play it, like to buy the physical copy, it's a little bit expensive. Um, they made like time, but I don't know if Time Splitters was cross platform or not.
So
They
that
made Red Steel
okay.
on the Wii, which flopped. It was a Ubisoft game, and it was like motion controls. You had like a sword in one hand, a gun in the other, and you could like deflect bullets while shooting. And and stuff like that. Like they've tried, but they, unless it's a third party game or like a game they're porting onto the system, they don't go into the first person shooters anymore. Like they pretty much given up on it.
But that's it.
Um unless it's a port, right?
Because we talked about it.
So
Nintendo stayed in its lane. And I think once the shooters came in, um, I don't think they were going to beat Xbox. I don't think they
yeah,
were going to take on PlayStation. And here's the thing, Joe, if I asked you for your top three first person shooters, third person shooters, second person shooter games, how many of those are going to show up on a console other than Xbox and PlayStation?
yeah, no. Like they won't, yeah, and even honestly, even on the PlayStation, and if we're talking about like
If we're talking sports games, where are we playing it, Joe?
it, sports games, I'm playing a sports game on PlayStation. I'm playing a sports game on PlayStation. I'm playing a first person shooter on Xbox. The reason being, one, Xbox again coming from a PC background makes them better. Two, I will I'm going to admit this. As much as I love PlayStation, I like the Xbox controller better. The Xbox controller feels better when you're playing first person games. It feels better. Um
And we talked about this, and just
be,
so the viewers who didn't watch, I think it was episode 3 or 4, we talked about it. And it's the fact that we can have the offset
mhm,
directional pads,
mhm,
or for
mhm. The
joysticks, thumbstick, whatever the fuck it is. The things there that always drift that we got to replace.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we'll talk about this because I did want to bring up, and we'll do it on a different episode. We'll talk some gaming news, but you saw, and I was going to send you. I'm happy you saw it before I sent it to you. The new PlayStation 6 controller that is
Yuck.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what your opinion about it, but yuck.
It doesn't matter
I might
because
have to move out to I have to move on to Xbox. If they come up with that fucking controller, I don't know if I'm going to buy the next PlayStation if that's the fucking controller. I understand they're trying to be innovative. If they fucking come out, I'm fucking
okay.
not buying, dude.
Just because I
Not,
like to
I'm
play
not. I
devil's
can't.
advocate, how many times have you had to send back a controller because of drifting directional pads?
Well,
How many times
my
have you slammed this and this get fucking stuck? So that being said, Joe, I am just gonna
you're right
say,
because I got two PlayStation
as
controllers with stick drift right now, and I had to buy two new ones.
as far as it goes, I think we're seeing the end of the carburetor and the introduction of the fuel injected.
I can't.
I
I
know you
can't.
can't, but it
I
doesn't
can't.
matter. You're gonna have carpal
Have you
tunnel in
tried
10
to play a
years.
game on your phone, dude?
Yeah, I
With
do it all the
directional
fucking
pads and
times. I'm
shit?
just
You
less
never
complaining than you.
you, you don't know where your fingers are. I need buttons. I
Because
need to feel the clicky clickies.
I know, but think of this now. Remember when the Wii came out? That was game changing, right? We're gonna lasso this shit to our wrist. We're gonna go like this. Nothing is gonna get broken. Horrible fucking
Fucking
idea.
loved it.
I
I
know.
fucking loved it.
I know. But when I play Mario Kart, I can't play Mario Kart on a pad anymore. I need my fucking wheel and stick because that was the beauty of that. Did it have way too many buttons? 100%. I don't need all those fucking buttons. Half the time I hit the wrong button, I took screenshots. But Nintendo's its own thing. And I think that them pulling out of the first person shooter when, let's just say, pretty damn close to when Halo came out, like you said, they've had their throw in the years, but they knew
Yeah,
that
they
wasn't going to
tried,
be
but
their
they
market,
stopped.
right? They knew
Yeah.
that wasn't their seller
Yeah.
because they have Pokemon, and you got Game Boy, you got
Mhm.
everything else, because Pokemon was a whole other sport.
Buddy, that's all they need. If they could just keep Pokemon under their belt, they don't need fucking and again, I will say this. As much as their games are pretty shit, nowadays, like the OG ones and the
Like I
ones that
played
did
Sword and
whatever.
Shield. Yeah, it doesn't compare to what I remember with Red Blue.
Yeah, like Scarlet and Violet, and even like I've been watching Ms. Mac play
Oh yeah,
Legends
she's got the
Z
new one.
to A.
Arceus? Okay.
No, Z to A. She's played uh actually her first intro into it was Scarlet and no, Sword and Shield. Then she fucking hiccups. Then she played Scarlet, then she played Legends of Arceus, Arceus, whatever. Fuck my life. Why are you hitting me this now? God, stop it.
Because we're
And
59,
then
45 into this recording.
I'm afraid to breathe. I might hiccup. And then she played the Legends Z to A. Um, they're not good games, but honestly, I will fucking buy every single one of them because they're just so cute and adorable.
Pokemon Go is not a good game. Do you know how much of my life I have invested into Pokemon Go? And for those of you who don't know, Dan likes to walk. So it's a game in which I can stand like a moron at 40 years old by my post office and beat someone out so that the other person who has the gym can drive down, drop her kids off, and take it. Like it became like a thing. Like we had three colors in town, but that was it. But I used to do a lot of walking, so that was it. I haven't played it in a little while. But when I used to work in warehousing, I used to hatch eggs by having a phone holder and just having it up while I was on my forklift. When I
Fucking
worked at the
genius.
bar, I was hatching eggs all day because I was back and forth between the bars.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I easily got 100 kilometers a week. So, but that was it. And then I hurt my back and now I can't do it no more. But the thing with Pokemon is like a Halo. The base, the bones, the foundation is so fucking unique and good that you can turn it into anything else. And everybody's going to
Mm-hmm.
be looking at you to evolve. You will be that project. And we talked about the golden ages, right? We talked about even if we're gonna shed, we'll talk Pokemon. But even if we're gonna go right, the golden age for Pokemon for us was Game Boy. Maybe it
Yep.
was different for
Yep.
you. For me, it was Game Boy.
No, it was. I mean, there was like the Game Boy.
You went up to Game Boy
Oh
Color,
shit.
DS, and a bunch of other
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, 3DS, all those ones. So yeah, but
But when
the
you
golden
think,
age was definitely the Game Boy, regular Game Boy to like I don't know, Game Boy Advance, maybe DS, but
but that was
you
the thing. But Pokemon is in its own class, and we
know.
talked about this earlier with Call of Duty and Halo. Like when I think shooters, I never thought I could subcategorize shooter games as much as you can now because we talk about it, right? Gears of War, and this is why, and everybody's going to start to see why I put these together. Gears of War and
Mhm.
Halo were shooting aliens, and you talked about it. I didn't really touch on it, and I didn't think about it until you said it. But then Bungie went on to make Destiny. Destiny is in its what second? But it's such a
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah. It's been like 10, 12 years, and it's still
because
Destiny
you don't
2,
need to
but they
change
just
it. You
you
add
don't. You
to
just
it.
need to keep adding story. That's
And
it.
that's like
And
Call of
and
Duty.
yeah, and to touch on what you said with like Destiny, and I was thinking about this as we're like chit chatting and stuff. I think Destiny, and because it was made by Bungie, who initially made Halo, right? I feel like the developers of that game were a little butthurt, maybe because of whatever happened. Again, I would love to know what happened, but I feel like they were butthurt. And what they fucking did was like, yo, we kind of feel like we know which direction Halo wants to go, and we're gonna fucking beat them to the punch. And we're gonna create this kind of online, but kind of not. You could play the game with other people. You could play the game by yourself. It's going to be open world. We're going to jump from planets to planets, fighting fucking aliens, upgrading our guns and shit, make an RPG sort of thing. And then they created Destiny, and I feel like what happened with the Halo series is they're like, fuck, we can't like we were planning on doing this. We can't fucking do this now. Now we're pigeonholed into this other thing that we're doing, and we can never, because then people are going to be like, oh well, 343 is just copying whatever Bungie did, right? And I feel like if Bungie never left the Halo franchise, Halo would be more
Destiny.
popular and Halo would have been Destiny. I never thought about that till now, until we just
And
started doing
now
this.
I'm going to throw something else at you because I like to advocate from the other side as someone who's been pissed off by shit like this. For those of you who don't know, you haven't heard, um, I'm running an apparel line on the side, Angry Corgi Customs, which is built off my brand. I was once asked to remove someone who helped me build that brand by a parent company who wanted to give me 25,000 to help fund um, my mental retardation. We'll just call it. But I refuse. So, and I think you said it there, Joe. If I had my baby and they said we're just going to keep regurgitating this shit, we're going to slap 4, we're going to slap 5, because we talked about this with Final Fantasy, is you can tell when a golden era has happened. Like there's few games, and I saw someone playing Spider-Man 2 the other day. Spider-Man is always going to be in its golden era because Spider-Man, much like Halo and everything else, once you have the character, the story becomes so secondary that you can turn it into
Mm-hmm.
anything. But with Gears of War, it's the story. With Medal of Honor, it's the story. With Legend of Zelda,
Mm-hmm.
it's the story. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you change it, it's another game. And I think that was it. So, in my opinion, bravo to Bungie, because I'm sure someone in a suit told them, let's do the same thing, same, but different. And they were like, well,
Mm-hmm.
no, this is going to be fucking. And who would have thought? Like, I've played Destiny. Destiny is way out of my league. But I have Mr. Thanksgiving. I'm sure I've thrown you in there once or twice, but he's one of the OGs that followed us when we were still coming up in the streaming world. But he's a buddy in the UK. But that's his life. And he loves it. They have their own cult following. It's like Valorant, Apex, all this stuff. Those are games I don't get into. I just
Yeah.
I can't get into them, but they're popular for a reason. And we're going to talk about Call of
Mm-hmm.
Duty. And me and Joe, fucking no experience on Call of Duty. Well, you had older, but that's it. So I've got to reach
I,
out to,
I I
some
did
people
up until Modern Warfare 2. And then after that I fucking,
because,
whether
again,
I
we're
just got
talking
too
golden
old or just
ages.
didn't care. Yeah.
Because at a certain point, you got to make money. And I think that that's what a lot of these consolers were thinking, because we talked about this towards the end of the console war talk, that it's done. PlayStation won the console war. Xbox, right? We got new CEO, we got new development now, and she even
Oh
said
boy.
the new Xbox is going to be 50 and $100, but it's going to be the multimedia unit that I alluded to from back in the day, which is what PlayStation 4, which is what Xbox brought to the market. It brought the computer side to it. Nintendo have been cunts. They got their own thing. They do their own jam, which is fine. Like I said, if it wasn't for Legend of Zelda and Mario Kart, I would have zero business with a Nintendo. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
those are the games that, for whatever reason, I very much resonate with. Right? Like I could play Gran Turismo, but Mario Kart, for whatever reason, it fucking makes me smile. Right? Throwing
Mm-hmm.
shells and bananas at people. And we talked about that because Halo had that goofiness. Right? You got these grunts running away from you.
Oh, dude, those grunts are so fucking funny.
And that's
So
it.
fucking funny.
And then we go,
And again, the soundtrack, right? And I'm gonna give a shout out. They're probably never gonna hear this, but I hope they hear this one day. And I'm gonna give a
I'll
shout out.
tag them, fuck.
Super FX. I saw them at Video Games Live. They were like the local band that Video Games Live picked to play music. They played the Halo theme song um, as their track to play in the concert. Fucking unbelievable. I played soccer. I didn't even know I played soccer with the guy. I found out after the fact that I played soccer with him. We were in the dressing room and he was talking about, like, we're like, oh yeah, so like what are you doing for the weekend? He's like, oh yeah, I'm making music. The dude looked like he made like, we're probably a little racist, at the time, but he looked like he made like the fucking like R&B sort of like kind of like shaggy type music.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh no, I'm in a band, like a rock band, and I make like, you know, he's like, oh, and we do cover songs." And we're like, "Oh, like what fucking?" He's like, "Oh, like, um, did you go to Video Games Live?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, that was my band. We played the Halo theme." We're like, we bowed down to this motherfucker,
Yeah. You're
Dario. I believe his name was Dario, but. Shout out to Super FX if you're in Winnipeg or whatever. They try. I think they travel. They might travel, but I follow them on Instagram. Go check out their Instagram. They play unbelievable cover songs, but their Halo Combat Evolved fucking song is great, dude. You wanna go work out to some shit? Put that shit on. Sorry, I digress. I just
no,
wanted to shout them out because
do your thing.
fucking they
This
were
is what
really
this is
good.
about. And we're gonna do we'll eventually get down, and I thought about it. We might extend story arc one and we might start talking developers because I think there's a few that definitely need 60 minutes of everybody's attention. And we'll add Bungie, we'll add we've had a few um
It's just yeah,
throughout
like
this
I,
time.
I would
Bad
like
Robot
to
is one of my like
understand.
but
Yeah, like I would like to understand again. Like I know again, I never thought about it till now, but like what the fuck happened in between that time period? Like, why did Bungie leave and then 343 took over
be,
and then like,
and
you know what I
again,
mean?
like I
Like,
said, as someone who is sat at the round table, sometimes when someone tries to milk the baby for all it's worth, it's just
yeah, like I wonder if
like,
like they had the idea of Destiny but making it Halo and Xbox was
could,
like, no, just
but isn't
fucking make the
Halo
same game.
Infinite kind of like, could you imagine Halo Infinite as like Destiny? There's one of them that's kind of an
It
MMO more feel. Maybe I'm getting the
well,
wrong one.
Halo Infinite is like, yeah, Halo Infinite is like open world.
Team
You
battle
have your
or
quests. No, you could play with like so Halo Infinite, from what I understood, I only played single player for a little bit, but like you could play co-op up to
okay,
4 people on your squad, and then you go and you do the quests together and you whatever
okay,
save the world. Whereas Destiny is like, yeah, you could team up with people. Like I used to play with buddies all the time, right? You make a party, you go and you go do quests and you go do runs and you go do all like
okay,
this stuff. But it also had it was a player versus player team deathmatch if you wanted to. You go into a separate arena, or you could do player versus enemy where everyone's like working together to try to complete a goal,
okay, because
right?
I think that's what
So
I
like
did
a
before.
time
Yeah,
yeah, so like a timed event would come out on the map and everyone would rush to it and try to defeat the boss so we could all collect the shit together, right? Um which I fucking love Destiny, dude. I did every
I've
day
got your
after work I'd
Destiny.
hop on.
I've got your Destiny here. I tried playing it once, but I had no idea. People were mad. It was
Yeah,
not a good
it's
scene
really
for
good.
Dan.
I
Um,
never did the player versus player, but the player versus like enemy, like go and
that's what I did.
dungeon
And then
crawl,
yeah,
go, yeah,
and then yeah.
yeah,
But when you
fucking
don't know
loved
what
it,
you're
dude.
doing, it's
My teammates hated me too. So
that's fine.
I was all about me, and I would never help them. So
That's it. But just to kind of let's bring it all together now. So
sure.
Halo, in my opinion, is going to be one of the most iconic shooter
Hmm.
games that ever hit gaming. Like I can talk about Gears of War being a great game, visually beautiful, mechanically great, but Halo at its base level, even without a storyline, you could run that game and know what's going on. Like
Yep, yep.
the chaos
You're a
and that
dude saving the world.
and I think that's what both and
That's
again
it.
we'll bring this because we're gonna end up talking because I do miss Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor was a great fucking game, and we talked
It
about it
was.
with Metal Gear Solid and Siphon Filter, right? If we're gonna
Hmm.
talk, right, because those are the two that I can put together. Like I'm not gonna put Halo with Call of Duty because in my opinion they're completely different sports. But I think we can kind of put the alien shooter into one of these two categories, either a Halo style or kind of a Gear style. We've got, a strict
Hmm.
campaign style, and we just got the let's just fuck shit up, right? In what world do I need a machine gun with a chainsaw? The best kind. And that's what Gears of War gave me. And you talked about it with Halo. Halo, you got these guns, these are your guns, make it
That's
happen.
it. Yeah,
But you
that's
did,
it.
right?
Yeah,
And
and
I
it was
think,
fucking fun.
and that's it. Because when we talk, and that's it. Like I've never played a game where I've had to, like Fortnite with like, you know, there's so much to Fortnite and Call of Duty with loadouts and so on and so forth. I'm never gonna get into it. Like if I
This
was gonna,
perk, that perk, like
which is
fucking this
whatever.
this spectacle, this yeah, it's too much, dude.
It's someone else's jam, but I think we're gonna have to. We might have to call in some heavy hitters. I might have to get some real COD and Fortniters to
Yeah,
touch base
you'll have to because
because
yeah,
we
I'm
have
not
no
the guy to
business
talk about
talking
that.
about it. But I'll reach out. I'll reach out to Carrie and Noble and see if they got some time. But
Mhm,
like I said, both these games in their own right were cornerstones of the console wars. Like
mhm,
we talk about PlayStation 3 was kind of the right.
mhm,
I think we
mhm,
can say that with games too. And we talked about it with and you even asked me if I was going to play Gears of War. I don't think you could truly play I don't think you could truly understand Gears of War without playing the first one. And I would say the same about Halo. Like I had jumped into Witcher 3, I got the idea of The Witcher.
yeah,
Right? And it's the same with Legend of Zelda. We talked about that. The beauty of Final Fantasy is that they're all kind of standalone stories, but in a universe that you know you're going to get something crazy, right? We're going to get Blitzball with, Demise trying to take over the world. But just like that, Halo is just beautiful. It's the simplicity. We've got our
yeah,
generic enemy. We've got about 20,000 of them to kill before the end of the game. It's a game
mhm.
that you could bang out in a weekend if you really wanted to do the campaign
Oh, you
with
can.
buddies.
I'm pretty sure Halo 3, me and Tim beat in a night. We rented it, we
Well, I told you
sat
I beat
up,
it in,
played it,
three,
and beat
four
it.
hours of
Yeah,
grind.
yeah,
But that's
yeah.
it. But sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that. Like we have a lot more simulator games now than we did. Like back in the day, the shooter game was kind of your palate cleanser.
Mhm.
For you, I guess. Well, you like Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. You liked your
Oh,
your
yeah,
your
yeah,
runners.
yeah, I
See,
enjoy
I like
the platformers and the
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Like I like my Castlevania, like Ori. If I could talk Ori in Hollow Knight, the show would never end.
Ori's Ori's great. I wanted to break my controller by the end of it, but it was a great game.
But the thing is with Ori, and it's the same thing. Ori versus Hollow Knight. Ori was the story background. Hollow Knight was beautiful. Don't get it had a storyline, nerds. I know. Don't get all fucking uppity about it. But
Mhm.
if you're gonna compare, it would be the same comparison to me because Hollow Knight can be so many stories. I think Ori Ori's gonna be one of those where you only get two or three good ones, kind of like your Halo. And
Mhm.
I think that that's one thing that we see with these two franchises and champions of franchises. But I think we got
And they both oh, sorry. I was gonna say they both brought something to the table per se, and something you like ingredients you see in other games.
it
Because
was an
we didn't really
evolution
talk
from
too
the
much.
past without losing those key.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, and like God of fuck it, I was about to say God of War because they're both
Yeah,
GOW. Gears of War brought the duck and cover system to light in games. Like it wasn't really a big thing.
yeah, you could
You
roll
had
and
games
shit,
that you
but yeah,
could duck. Yeah, like you play your Dead to Rights, you play your like other kind of third person shooters, and yeah, you could duck behind something, but you didn't stick to it. You know what I mean? Like you ducked behind
you
it,
you
but
couldn't
you
back
weren't
and then
sticking
yeah.
to it. Yeah, whereas Gears of War and other games have taken from it is that duck and cover stick and move where you're planted to this thing, you're stuck to the wall, you could shoot over top, right? And then you press your button, you pick the next direction when you go, and your character automatically runs to it and sticks to that next cover, right? So we can't overshadow the fact that like if all else like Gears of War brought that that's the word mechanic
Mechanic.
two two other fucking dude yeah
But that's it,
two
right?
other games, right?
Like we got the
So
we've got your base level racer, and then we've got your tuned. And I think that's the thing. Like if you strip down Halo, you could have turned Halo into Gears of War. But I think Halo being
Mhm.
as broad as it was brought a lot more people into it. Like they both they are both iconic games, but Gears of War will never hold the pantheon that Halo will. I think Halo and we can't and the thing with sales is it depends on the time, and that's why I kind of put these two together. But
Mhm.
Gears of War was that more broken down Halo. Like Halo was the whole mission, whereas or the whole war, whereas Gears of War was the mission. And I think that's what
Mhm.
Gears of War was very Expendables. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Yo, you're right. It has an expendable vibe
but
to
it's
it.
the
You're
same.
right.
And this is why if you put Dave Batista, it's natural.
Mhm.
John Barenthal and all these guys. The other guys that weren't in it, right? I don't want to see, Bruce Willis. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, yeah.
But even Dolph, like Dolph just got off of fucking cancer.
Yeah.
Those guys are
But
done.
Van Damme. Put
And
Van
here,
Damme in that shit
but
though. I'll
this is,
fucking
but this
watch the
is,
hell out of that.
but this is where I lost faith in Expendables is when we started turning it into WWE and the UFC. Right? We brought in everybody because there was the third one where it was just like 50 fucking fighters that were in it that had little
Right.
cameos
Who
here.
was in the right? And then they added like Ronda Rousey and they
Yeah.
added like right?
I don't even
Is
think
that the
Gina
third one?
Carino was it, but she might have.
I
Or,
fucking vaguely
but it was just
I feel like I didn't watch it, but I vaguely remember it, but I feel like I didn't watch it, but I
because they're,
vaguely remember it.
but you did watch it because it was the
Tony
same.
Jaa was probably fucking
Yeah,
in there
but
probably
this
for
is
some
it.
goddamn reason.
Expendables 1 and 2 were the Expendables. We could have stopped it.
Mhm.
Halo, and I
Mhm.
think this is again, if I had to place a bet on why Bungie said fuck it, it's because that was it. This is the
They
story.
wanted to make them make more and they're like we got no more to give. Like we
But
put our
but
hearts and soul into this game.
it's not worth sullying, and you talked about it.
Yeah.
Like there's some shit you don't want to dilute, and I think after that point,
Mhm.
like we talked about it, even after Final Fantasy X, it was just a dilution into other genres, right? And it did what Halo did,
Mhm.
right? You've got this MMO now, you've got this. It's not Final Fantasy, it's a different other game. You may as well call it Soul
Mhm.
Calibur, like
You
and
could call it something else for sure. Yeah.
right. But
Mhm.
when I think Halo, when I think Gears of War, one and twos are always going to be the ones. And
Mhm.
that's it. Like we
Mhm.
talked about it with a lot of things, but Call of Duty, I can't say. If I think Call of Duty, I think of the modern Call of Duty. I don't think of the shit we played growing up, right? Because Medal of
Yeah.
Honor took over Call of Duty 10 times, 7 days out of the week. But
Medal of Honor was badass.
but
Yeah.
it phased out because Call of Duty evolved,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I think Call of Duty is one of those where we can't say that the golden age was the original age. I can't.
Yeah, no, you're right because yeah, the first what two or three don't really, but then once you got to like Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, World at War, though that generation there is my golden era is like the Modern Warfare 1, 2 and World at War because World at War was fucking unbelievable. You're in the jungles of like Asia. I think it was like World War 2, but it was the when you had like Band of Brothers and then you had the Pacific and like
Yeah.
World at War was the Pacific, right?
And
Yeah.
that's it. The
Yeah,
same but different. And I think this was
yeah.
a good episode. We've held these people now for 80 something minutes, so we should let everybody go have a pee break here, Joe. But I think we
Okay.
should bring it all together. But Gears of War, any platform. Halo
Hmm.
is
It's
Xbox.
Xbox. It's Xbox. Don't bring it to PlayStation. Don't PC, that's fine, but PC and Xbox, same shit. Don't bring it to
If you
PlayStation.
bring
I
it
don't
to
know why they did
PC,
that.
make these bitches use mouse and key. Like, do it
Oh my
right.
god.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
because
you're
even
right.
the
You
sim, I
should.
told you the sim that I was playing the other day, whatever that roadside gas station one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sucks with the controller. And I love this controller.
Yeah.
This is the best controller ever created, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. I have it too. It's right here. Fucking again, I'm a
Yeah,
PlayStation guy, but like
you
it's
can't
Xbox
beat
controller
the
fucking
ergonomics of Xbox. I'm sorry.
you can't. You can't.
Eat dicks. Try. I bet you. But that's it, right? Like it's but I don't know. Like I said, Joe, like when we talk iconic shooters, without going into the golden eyes and everything else, as far as
Mhm.
campaign shooters, these have got to be the two of the top five of our
Dude,
generation.
they're one of the best, dude. They're one of
Because
they're
not
fun. They're
even
so fun.
Nintendo
They're
would
so
fuck
fun.
with it.
Yeah, they're
Nintendo
so
knew it was
fun.
done, right? And that was it
Like
because
it's so
Nintendo
fucking
had
fun.
007. Nintendo had GoldenEye. They were
They
good
did.
games, but they were never Halo.
But try to go back to those games now. Can't. Go back to the OG Halo and you're going to still have a good time just like you did when you were that 13, 14. And I say it because that's the age
Yeah.
I would have been around. 13, 14-year-old eating Doritos, Mountain Dew, staying up all night. Like, yeah,
We
yeah.
once
It
juiced
can't be beat.
gushers to see how much juice we could get out of it. Fun fact about me,
Buddy,
Joe, and Tim.
we were fucking weird.
The fact that none of us got diabetes is
we
amazing.
had we had nothing to better to do. Like that was our
Didn't we once? Oh, fuck. Do you remember the cookies we did? That's when your mom was on Burroughs. But I had made like Oreo cakesters. We had put them in the
Yeah,
oven.
dude.
Oh, fuck. I got to remember. But all I remember was we were super
Yeah.
sick after. But all I
We
remember was
also
using an
melted like
entire.
chocolate bars
We basically took
like
all the
cereal
shit.
and shit.
We took like $200 worth of like Safeway like groceries. By groceries, I mean chocolate bars and candies. And we'd essentially baked a cake out of all of this while we were playing King of the Hill outside. It wasn't the glass breaking event. This
Yep.
was many years later. But fuck, man,
Oh, the glass
code and
breaking event was on
when I
Code
was
Street,
when I was
bro.
on code downstairs without my glasses, and then all of a sudden you hear the smash,
The
and a
hockey
hockey
stick.
stick is in the downstairs living room, and I'm like this. Yeah.
And it
Anyways,
wasn't even intentional. It's just we were done playing hockey. My brother tossed a stick into the yard and it went through the fucking basement window. Yep. Yep.
never
Yeah,
have
on
glass
that
around a
note.
Machado. That's what we learned. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. This was episode 9. We did our best to cover Halo versus Gears. If there is anything that you guys want us to cover, please let us know. Once I get the Patreon going, there will be a place where we will answer to Patreon subscribers. You guys got questions? You guys want us to see something? And like I said, we'll have different tiers. We're going to throw in shirts because the biggest support for us is through the website. Donate to Joe through his Streamlabs. Donate. We split the shares.
Donate. Don't subscribe. Please donate. Thank you.
Yeah, because Twitch. As a Canadian, for every $10 you give Twitch, we get about 75 cents. So please support us. Let me support local print shops. Let's get this back into the show. But thanks again, everybody. This is a long running show. We've pretty much got 3 story arcs, 3 seasons. We'll keep going till we get tired of talking video games. But for now, I think we can put these 2 to rest, and we'll see what we bring up next week. Joe, is there anything that you wanted to talk about via video games, because you got a much broader encyclopedia than I, sir? You know what? Let's make it a surprise. Tell you what, next episode is going to be Joe's Secret Gems. I want all those games that you gush over that most people wouldn't know.
Ooh. Okay. I got some homework, buddy, because I know the games, but I haven't played them in a while because they're fucking rare and they're expensive for me to get again. So
Days Gone was amazing. Anyways,
You're right. I went back and I played it on stream. It was a really good fucking game.
because I like a campaign, bro. But anyways, to all
It
of
was
you,
a really good game.
thank you for coming out and supporting us. Check Joey_Shadows. He is on Twitch. I am also on Twitch, Angry Corgi Customs. And I guess everything's just going to go under my Angry Corgi Productions on YouTube. Find Joe there. We'll start putting clips up. Stay tuned for the Patreon, Spotify, YouTube. I'll put some dumb shit on TikTok eventually. Hit us up. Like I said, buy a shirt, buy a hat. It helps us out tremendously so that I can upgrade this fucking laptop so that I can actually stream this and record at the same time. It's crazy, guys.
Please, he needs a fucking new goddamn PC. Please support.
Yeah. Because this one was bought, the laptop was bought by streaming. So if the PC could be bought by podcasting, bless you all. But anyways, thanks again, everybody. Nothing but love from myself, Joey Shadows. Episode 9 down the hatch. Episode 10, she's gonna be a gooder.